Hey everyone, I'm Mackayla, and today on the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast, we have lolitslea. So welcome, we're really glad to have you here.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you announced the album on July 19th. What has the kind of anticipation been like with the release that's coming soon?
Honestly, it's been really exciting. A lot of people just like day to day in my life, or I've just been telling people that I had been working on an album for like a year, so I don't think it came as a surprise to meet, the people around me, but the response has been great online, and I think, the hype is definitely there, and I'm still trying to build that hype. So I'm really excited, and I know other people are as well. So it's the first album I've ever put together. So I'm really, really excited to see that come out into the world and see how people react to it.
Yeah, so why did you decide that now was the right time for your first album?
Honestly, it was not a plan. I just wrote a lot of songs and I wanted to put them all out because I didn't want to, like, I don't know, if you're working on like a bunch of songs at a time, my style is gonna change, I think, in a year from now. So I thought, group all those songs that I'm working on in the past year and a half, and it's time for them all to come out. I'll just release them all as one thing. And it happened to be enough to make an album. So I was like, cool, I can start like scheming for some album like teasers, and I get to do all that. So yeah, it just kind of happened that way.
That's really exciting. I'm so excited for it. I heard it already and it was amazing.
Thank you.
I really liked it and I'm excited for everybody else to be able to hear it.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah, so why did you name it Nothing Lasts Forever?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a play on words with my last EP. So my last EP was called Happy Never Ending, kind of about a situationship that's like ongoing and ongoing and it never ends, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. I'm kind of happy about it, whatever, happy never ending. And then this one is kind of Nothing Lasts Forever, which is funny because it's like I said happy never ending, LOL JK, nothing lasts forever. And it kind of ties into a lot of themes of just like you're bouncing around, you're getting older. You can be nostalgic, but you're never gonna be in that moment of your childhood or growing up again or discovering your favorite genre, your favorite artist again. So those moments, like, are fleeting and nothing lasts forever as well, in that sense. So I thought it was kind of a cool way to dual, play on both those
I like
ideas.
it.
Thanks.
Yeah, which is so sad because we all want to live in those moments forever. Like
Right,
those are the best
exactly.
moments.
Yeah, but the reality is, like, it doesn't last forever, and you got to keep just living in the present and then going moving forward.
Yeah, it's a hard mindset to have though. It's like one of those things you know that's how you're supposed to think, but it's hard.
I know, exactly. It is very hard.
Yeah, so how did you kind of choose the order and the number of songs that you put on the album?
Yeah, so the number of songs was again just a coincidence of like things I wrote about at a time in my life, and it all happened to just kind of come together as a linear thing, one song after another. Same with the order. I say a lot that like my music like I release it and I package it up very linearly. So like if it happens to me, I write about it and then I work on the song. And then I finish the song and then I move on to the next one. So, that doesn't mean like I'm not, listening to mix revisions for tracks 1, 3, and 5 or whatever. But at
Hmm.
the same time, but like when I experience something, I tend to put it in that order of like, all right, I did that, I'm done, let's move on to the next one. And that's kind of how the track order, I guess, came about. It's literally a song I started writing in Favorite Singer I wrote in December 2022, and I started working on it in 2023, and I happened to be like the whole album was finally complete and I could start promoting it. So that was the first one that is going to be
Hmm.
on the album and the first one I released as a single. So yeah, I kind of just do it in order. I guess that maybe my brain feels satisfaction from doing it that way.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand why you would do it that way.
Thank you. Yeah. It's just like it's laid out already like that. You might as well just keep it in order, I guess. I
Right.
don't
It's just,
don't
it
think
kind of
about it.
wrote itself.
Exactly.
So it's like it was meant to be in that order.
Yeah, I like that. It wrote itself. I like that.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind the latest single, Call It a Fling?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of really self-explanatory. I feel like the lyrics, give away like if this is this a fling? Is this a situationship? Is this going to be more than that? Something that I personally deal with like all the time, which kind of sucks, but it might be my own fault. So, getting to write about that, I also just think it's a really relatable topic just from talking to my friends, other musicians, just other people, and how they process, I guess, like situationships and flings and whatnot. So, just kind of one of those relatable, songs that you could dance to. And personally, like I did write it about a situation that happened to me. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of the inspiration that came from it. And then I know I wanted it to, I was working with a new producer. I worked with a couple producers on this album, and the one producer, Roy, he him and I just sat down. I sent it to him. He's like, "This is a great idea. Let's sit down and work on it." And we sat down and kind of played out all the instrumentations. A lot of it came together where we were humming ideas for the guitars and for other things. And so like one of my favorite little like tidbits of that song is like the bridge, the la da da part, la da 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 part. Not great lyrics, but it was Roy trying to tell me like, hey, we should do this for this part, this would sound good. And I was like, okay, I love that. And he's like, but put real words there. And I was like, no, I don't know if I have anything to write there. I want to do the la da da so people can sing along. And he was like, all right, I mean, that's kind of unusual, but I guess we could stick with it. And then the song came about that way. So it was a lot of those moments, like, messing around and playing different ideas until we kind of landed on stuff. But yeah, that's how it came about, I guess, lyrically and melodically,
Mhm.
sonically.
Yeah, so if you're writing about these, situationships that are so personal to you, how do you kind of like write about it without kind of revealing everything?
I feel like I just reveal everything. It's a really good question. I like that a lot. I feel like no one's really asked that yet, and I'm like, when are the juicy questions coming? Um, yeah, I mean, it's really hard to write about something and then have to limit yourself and limit your creativity. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I think you should just like write what's on your mind. And if it comes out in a song and you like how it turned out, don't go back and change things just because you don't want people to know certain details about your life. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's really up to the artist, but I didn't really feel like, I don't know. I also don't think, I think it's broad enough that like it's not too revealing, but I also, when I write songs about people, I usually tell them, so just to get that out of the way and there not be any speculation. But yeah, I mean, there's no secrets. I'm not trying to hide anything, so things will show through my music in time anyway.
Yeah, so what is that conversation like when you're telling them that?
Honestly, sometimes I don't like to be too serious about things. I don't like to take things too serious. I don't like to take myself too seriously. It gets scary. So it's kind of like, I guess in most situations where I'm like, oh, I wrote a song about you, it's like, ha, look at this. Here's a song I wrote about you. I'm gonna play it right now. And if the vibes are right, like I'll keep the conversation going. But it's nothing like a serious conversation where you have to sit down and be like, so I'm releasing that. No, it's just like, this is fun. It happened. I don't think people ask questions. I just think they'll have a good time and listen to it. And it's been reciprocated, or like, it's been taken well.
That's good.
So I guess that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's important. That'd be kind of awkward if they really hated it.
I know. I've never had that happen before. I wrote like a ton of songs about this, like in my last EP or whatever, about this one person, and he's never been like weird about this, like, I don't know, the music. He's never told me like, oh, that's a terrible line. I can't believe you wrote that part about me. Like, maybe he's hiding it, but I don't know. I've never gotten any bad responses or bad feedback from the people that I've written about. So there's always time for that, though. You never know. You never know
Yeah.
what can happen.
So did they generally like it or are they kind of indifferent?
Usually like it. It's always been a positive response. So if I have a conversation, I mean, some of these people, like literally, I think one of the songs on the album I wrote about like a hinge match. I'm not even on dating apps right now. It was like one of those download scroll. And like, I'm like, do I tell him? I think it'd kind of be fun to just like DM him and be like, I think we're on Instagram and just be like, oh, hey, this song was like loosely about you. I hope you like it. So there's some people that I still I haven't told. And I mean, I don't even know if it's necessary, like I think a lot of songs are up for interpretation, and how one person might view it, the other person might view it differently. So it's like, I don't need to go, I guess, telling people if if I don't have to. I don't know. It's just a vibe check,
I get
If
that.
if the time is right and you want to share want to share your feelings, what's on your mind. Like I said, I wouldn't take it too seriously. I just kind of let a homie know. But yeah.
So, did you end up meeting with this guy that you matched with on Hinge, or was it kind of just, you swipe right and then you move on?
This one was we've never I'm trying not to give away too many details. I want
Right.
to like I said, air out the laundry on this. But no, this one specific person, I don't think I've ever met him in person. It was more like a friendship that we built through time, and
Hmm.
we were like chatting for a bit. Honestly, that situation that had happened that I wrote, I think it was track number, oh my goodness, what song was it? It was Say Grace, was about this Hinge match. And it honestly was just like a really quick moment I wrote about where I kind of interpreted the situation in my head. And, when you play out like, oh, you meet someone new, who knows where it might go. It was kind of like
Hmm.
coming up with that in my head, but it ended really fast. So I had to take all those thoughts in my head that I created on the situation and then just be like, all right, never mind, it didn't work out. And so I kind of wrote about it like that. And it's about a very short moment in time. I'm still like mutuals with this person online. They're great. They're talented. Like nothing, no hard feelings. I think it was funny that I could just use like that small moment to create a whole scenario and a song.
Hmm. I feel like that always happens. You like meet somebody and you click and you're like, oh my God, this could be like either my best friend or, my
Wedding
husband or
bells.
girl wife, and then it's like 2 days later, you're not even friends with them and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's happened way too many times. I can't do that anymore. That's why I'm off those apps for now. Who knows when I'll download it again? But exactly, there's just too many thoughts going through my head, too many things to distract myself with. But hey, at least you get good music out of it. Like I love that. There's always a positive that comes out of all the
Uh,
crazy things that happen in my life.
Gotta find the positives.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and also you can be distracted by you have a tour coming up.
Yes, yes, I'm so excited. I first tour ever, first like in a car
Yay!
tour.
That's so
Um
exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a situation of like I was up for some potential tour opportunities and I didn't get them,
Hmm.
and I'm still going to work really hard in the next upcoming months and years to be able to like get more opportunities like that. But that happened, and then I was like, well, I still want to go on tour, so I'm just gonna do it.
Hmm.
um and I was able to plan a whole tour, get my friends on the road with me, and now I will be able to use this as an experience and a learning experience and an educational experience for myself on like what can I handle, like what am I gonna need to know for next
Hmm.
time, just kind of like a big old lesson. And I got a really exciting set plan for it, so that's been really fun. Getting that set together. It's going to be very different than most of my live shows that I've ever done, just sporadically. So I'm really excited to try that out and see how people react to it.
Yeah. So, did you plan everything or are you working with other people?
I planned everything. I do have a mentor who I work with who's kind of like a manager to me. And he helped me out. We sat down, Nathan, and kind of went through several states, several venues, several bands, and talked through the process together. But at the end of the day, I was mostly reaching out to every single venue, every band. My friends in the band, Dawn, DAVVN, I think I literally think that we were having a conversation. I think they were visiting me at work one day when I was bartending. And I was like, yeah, I think I want to plan a tour. And they're like, okay, yeah, I want to do that. Let me know if you need like if you want someone else to come on the road with you. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? Because like that would be awesome. So that's kind of how that came about. And now, having their incredible creativity with their online content and their presence, and then, taking my brains for the routing the tour and getting everything organized. I think both of us came together and created a really, really cool opportunity for our two bands to hit the road together.
What was something about creating a tour that you didn't know that you wish you had known going into it?
Ooh, I feel like this answer will like I feel like I will see this answer through after the tour because I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'll learn. But at least from in the pre-planning stages,
Hmm.
before we hit the road, um unexpected things happening, or I guess like keeping track of several different places all at the same time that involve a lot of people.
Hmm.
It's much harder. I don't even know if it looks easy. I don't think it does, but I guess it's much harder than it seems. And then you think about the venue has all the artists coming through that they have to deal with. The artist has all the venues that they're going to. So I think it probably weighs itself out a bit, but yeah, that and like things switching up last minute. I had a venue drop and I somehow got word of it before the venue was able to tell me. So I was like, "Oh no, that's not good." And I'm experiencing that. So, just the little things there to be better prepared for.
Hmm.
Nothing is obviously perfect and, there's always going to be little hiccups in anything no matter how experienced you are and whatnot. So, just keeping that in mind, I think is what I would do moving forward and like leaving room for those hiccups, which I think I did a pretty good job. I started planning this really early
Hmm.
and it worked out, I think. So we'll see. We'll see how
That's
it goes.
yeah. Can only wait and see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you collaborated with a bunch of different artists on this. What was it like?
Oh, it was cool. I mean, I have some featured artists that I got to collaborate with, which was like, reaching out and being like, I love your work. I'd love for you to just sing a verse on this and add your flair. And that was really cool. Um, Even producers, like one of the featured artists is Tom Denny, and he basically produced the whole track. And that was such a new experience to me because it was basically like top lining on a song that was already written. And I've been doing that more as I get, more into my artistry and whatnot, but I'm not that experienced in it. So him handing me that song and being like, here, try something with this. Cause I didn't know what working with him would look like, right?
Hmm.
It was super just a really cool opportunity that it was presented to me at the time and I really wanted to work with him and he gave that to me and that's how the song came about, which is track number 7. And that was really cool. It was really unique, different experience. And it's like one of my favorite songs on the entire album. So I think overall, like getting to collaborate with there's like dozens of people on this
Hmm.
project. It's been like super cool and it makes me really excited to work on more stuff with more people in the future.
Yeah, do you have any dream collaborations?
Ooh, dream collaborations. There are so many artists that I want to like be on a record with or write with in a room. I feel like I don't want to spoil too much, but like, I feel like I got to write with a couple awesome people from music coming out next year. And so I can only imagine like, oh, who else? I mean, it would be awesome to collaborate with like Mayday Parade or at least have like Derek on a song of
Hmm.
mine or get to like write with them or um just, my favorite bands. Yeah, that would probably be my top dream collaboration.
Yeah, I like it. That's a good collaboration.
Yeah, I don't think they don't do too many, I don't think collaborations with like artists, but I know Derek sometimes like will put a verse on some songs here and there. So maybe one day we'll see.
Yeah. Keep your options open.
Yeah, yeah.
You never know.
Right.
Yeah, so if you could sum this album up into 5 words, what would you say?
Ooh, 5 words. Okay. Definitely colorful. Always feel like I have to add that into my list just because colors are such a big part of my branding and my image. And then um mm, noisy. I think there's a lot of like different sounds and exciting moments and it kind of just like hits you at times. So that's something that's a bit newer to my music is getting really creative with like gritty elements and guitars and synths and like new noises for my music. Aggressive. I feel like I've always used that word as a my music and myself, and that's how my personality is. And I'm trying to reclaim that as a good thing and not, not a bad word. It's just a personality trait. We're like, okay, let me add another one to go off to that passionate.
It's a good
Um,
one to have.
a lot of passion, and I think that's taking the aggression a little bit more positively and
Hmm.
spinning it more positively. And there's a lot of passion involved in the project or else I don't think I would have been able to complete it. And then I guess one more. I want to do like hmm I want to say I guess this is like similar to noisy but energetic.
Okay.
Even the ballad on this album, it like hits. it hits kind of hard, and I'm really used to writing like soft ballads that are really just emotional and chill, and this one is pretty loud. So I would say the whole thing is energetic, like my brain.
It's a good 5 words. I like it.
Thanks.
I would say that that does definitely describe it.
Cool. Good. Spot on then.
Yeah. I mean, it's your album, so you could describe it however you wanted.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's nice to the listener to have the same experience.
Yeah. So, if you could share anything about the new music that you mentioned that's like coming later, are you allowed to say anything about it?
I have barely started it yet. I can say, I mean, I don't mind sharing this. I've written like 8 full songs, and I have 8 full songs releasing in October, right? And now I have like the next batch, I guess, planned out. I mean, who knows like how many songs I'll write in between now and I guess when I decide to release more music, but I'm feeling really confident and excited to work on the new music because I have stuff already. Like
Hmm.
I'm already ahead, and I think that's been the best thing while working on this album is like slowly getting ahead for the next thing, because that's how the music industry works, and I'm
Yeah.
learning that. And it's been a really good it's been a lesson to learn, but it's been a really good challenge for me to kind of get ahead of myself and always stay on top of what I'm doing. So yeah, I mean there's 8 songs that I'm excited about. I could say that much. But I don't know how they'll be released or what the process is quite
Hmm.
gonna be yet, but I think I'll be starting to work on them in November, so like literally right after the album releases. So I'm excited for that. But you might not hear them in a while, but the goal is to get them out sooner than I've been releasing music. I think the more experience I get in the whole release cycle of my songs and music in general, the faster I can get them out.
Hmm.
And I'm really hoping that I could just keep doing more music right after this this album releases. But I'll let the album sit for a bit. I gotta get some money back too. Oh my goodness. It's expensive. I need to chill out for a little bit, celebrate Christmas, and then hopefully jump back into it in the new year.
Yeah, take a little break from your tour and refresh.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much of a break I get, but I that's the plan.
Yeah. A little, at least one day for yourself.
One day. Oh, yeah. I can try. I can do my best.
Yeah. So, how has your sound evolved from when you started making music to where you are now?
Ooh, very, very, very much. It has evolved. I feel like I have finally found my sound. And I can feel confident saying that because I keep making music that sounds the same.
Hmm.
Before that, I mean, I started out like doing this. This was like an album that I had made that I removed from platforms. So I made this like indie rock, like surf rock kind of vibe of music, and I don't know, growing up at the beach, like I guess that kind of made sense for me, was to do that type of music. And I love live instruments in my music, but then I discovered like, oh, it doesn't have to be live instruments. I can
Hmm.
do synths and I can do poppy elements. And then I became obsessed with LA after living there for 7 years. Like right when I first went there for the first time, I was like, everything feels bubblegum pop and palm trees. And I was so inspired by all that music. I called it like California beach pop. So I was
Hmm.
doing stuff like that, which sounds very, very different than what I'm making now. But I was always inspired by pop punk, grew up listening to it. It was the music and the genre that I discovered myself, with no like influence on, my friends weren't like listening to it. I was just kind of finding it places.
Hmm.
I really loved that. And so I've knew that my voice, I don't know. I talked to a couple people. I feel like my voice is better suited for rock. But I think it works for both. But I had my pop phase. I would say that was a phase, not the emo stuff. The pop stuff was a phase. And then I finally, started going back to like my roots of that pop punk, rock, gritty, um, yeah, emotion filled music, and started making pop punk again. And I was like kind of just like getting my feet wet. I was like, can I do this? I think I can do it. I think I can pull it off. Turns out I really can, and I feel super comfortable in there. I've never felt more welcome by a community of musicians before. it has been just incredible going from like, just trying to find my sound and trying new things and getting to do that and working with so many different people to like really, really honing in on the pop punk and the, alternative genre and whatnot. So that's kind of where I landed. I feel very comfortable in the sound that I'm in now. I've added those pop elements in because they're always a part of me. I loved it. I'm not gonna just like completely go out of left field and start like screaming. Like I think it kind of meshed well, and I like to add in those really modern hook, like poppy style elements and like synths and trap hats and stuff that you would hear on the radio today, and just incorporate that into the pop punk that I like grew up listening to and that I love.
What would you say to young artists who are struggling to find their sound?
Ooh, be patient with yourself. Try things. Don't like steer away from stuff just because you're like afraid. Because I was afraid I couldn't do pop punk. I was afraid my voice wasn't made out for it. And it is like a vocal style that's like different. Like I don't know, I'm vocally trained and in like musical theater and jazz and stuff. And so being able to like switch up that style has been like a challenge. So like try things, challenge yourself, and then do what feels most authentic to you. That's like my biggest top number one, because I was feeling pop at the time. If you're feeling one way and you really want to give it your all and put your whole heart and soul into it, then do that, because that's what you want to do. Don't make stuff you don't want to make just because you think it's, people want to hear it, then no one's going to want to listen to it. So just staying true to yourself and wherever that leads you, and then you really want to like stick with that. I think that's where you stay and what you develop once you get there.
I like that. That's some really good advice.
Thank you.
Are there any genres that you haven't tried that you want to try?
Hmm. Feel like I've tried it. I mean, yes and no. I love being able to like sing different genres depending on the setting and the crowd and what people want to hear. Like, for example, like at karaoke, I can like kind of just decide whatever and put on a persona to do that in the moment, because I know the crowd will like what they're listening to because of, the type of music that's been playing all night. Getting to do that's been fun, and I definitely like maybe I'd find myself in like a different setting like that. But as far as like developing myself as an artist and um, you know, trying out genres, because I've worked so hard to get where I am at right now, I don't think I would take the risk to switch it up, because it's a lot of work, and I feel like I've finally made those little steps forward doing what I'm doing now. So switching it up would be a disservice to myself and my career, I think. And I'm really happy with what I'm doing, and I get really inspired to create pop punk. But yeah, I mean, it would be cool to like, I don't know. I don't even know if it would make sense if like someone was like, "Hey, you want to sing a jazz song on this one album?" Like, I don't know if it would make sense for like me as like LOL it's Leah as an artist, but like myself as Leah, like I'll step aside and do that. That's awesome. Like I love jazz.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no country album.
No. Nope, 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 nope. I am not a big country fan. I think I like to say the closest to country that I'll get is like right now I've been super into Bill Murray's new album, and it is the alternative. Maybe it's not really country. I don't know what people would describe it as. I've just been listening. I haven't been reading about it, but there's some alternative stuff that I'm like, fine, this is too good to not like, but you won't catch me. And that's a good example too. I was at when I lived in Nashville, I was at a karaoke bar, and there was a lot of locals in the area, and I was like, these people look like they would love some country music. And so, which they do, they did, and it was great. I sang a country song at a karaoke bar, and that was kind of like to humor myself and see how the crowd would react. But like I would not be releasing a country song anytime. I don't think ever. Maybe collaborating with a country artist depending if they're like a little twangy, but I mean it's just not for me. It doesn't feel right to me.
You have a go-to karaoke song?
Well, I wouldn't say one go-to song, but since you asked, I have like this giant list
Oh,
of
wow.
songs. They're like these are like the old go-tos, and then I
Hmm.
started a list of like other songs that I've been like really into lately that I would want to like try out at karaoke. I love karaoke. I feel like anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with karaoke, and I will absolutely be there if someone's like want to go to karaoke. That's my thing. I love going up on the stage and, getting to sing for people, obviously, but I love like getting my friends involved and getting them excited to do what I do all the time and like just cheer them on. It's so much fun.
That sounds like so much fun, like a big party.
Exactly, exactly. And you're never bored because you're watching people sing karaoke, whether they're good or bad, everyone's having fun.
Yeah, that's the best part about karaoke.
Exactly.
You could be the worst singer, but everyone's still having fun.
Yeah, and no one's judging you. It's like a judgment-free zone. It's just for fun. I think a lot of people get in their heads, or at least a lot of my friends, when I try to get people to go to karaoke, they're like, "But I'm not good. It's gonna be so embarrassing." I'm like, no one cares. This is like the time that if you ever wanted to figure out if you like singing or ever wanted to do music in any capacity like this, karaoke is the spot. Like get on stage, see what it's like, put yourself through that, experience it, and like no one's gonna literally judge you. It's just and if they did, they forget about it 2 seconds later. It's such a fast experience. Like it's just for fun.
And I'm sure someone else coming along is probably worse than you, too. You can say that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And people are just there for a good time. I mean, obviously, like there are people there to show off. I like worked at a karaoke bar in LA when I lived out there, and a lot of people that came by were so good. And they were there to like let everyone hear them, but it was still an enjoyable experience because now you get a really good show.
Hmm.
So it's for everybody. It's for all different people.
So before I ask the last question, was there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about today?
I don't think so. We covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we covered everything, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Ooh, that's yes. I should have known. I should have seen it coming. The soundtrack of my life. You want like an album, right?
I want it however you want to answer it.
Oh gosh. Okay. Ooh, the soundtrack of my life. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Honestly, like I feel like I feel like I could pick an album that I really love that I would always listen to. It never gets old, but I also feel like I am the soundtrack of my life. I'm creating the soundtrack of my life. So, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. My Leo self is gonna say that the soundtrack of my life is everything that I've ever created and everything that I will create, whether it's released or not. Um, that perfectly kind of encompasses my entire existence, I guess.
Love that. I think it's interesting that you're only the second person to have said that. And this
Ooh.
will be the 87th episode.
Oh my goodness.
Only
Well,
I can't
dang,
remember
I'm
who
not the first,
I
darn it.
I think it was Kendall Bowser. Don't want to butcher her last name. That would be really awkward. Look that up.
Yeah, let me know because I'm curious.
Yeah, Kendall Bowser. It was the 37th episode. She said that she was writing the album of her life. Like she was writing the soundtrack of her life.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Now I need to like listen. I need to listen. Is it out already? I need to listen to like somebody else's interpretation of what the soundtrack of their life is, you know?
Yeah, that episode came out November 17th
Yeah, so
of last year, obviously. Because November
yeah.
of this year hasn't happened.
Oh my goodness. All right. Almost. It's
I think
almost.
that's so interesting because I mean, a lot of artists, but not all artists, are kind of like creating, like writing about their own life. So it would make sense that you're creating the soundtrack of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I feel like that was the first thing that popped into my head, but it made sense because I'm an artist and I'm creating like my own life's soundtrack.
Right.
I mean, I could put a bunch of songs on a playlist and consider it the soundtrack of my life, but there are songs that I wish I wrote,
Hmm.
and because I wish I wrote them, I can write them. Like I can go and do that. So, yeah, interesting. That's kind of cool though. I mean, it's cool someone else said that too. I love that. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I like that you're literally writing the soundtrack to your life.
Yeah. Like in the literal sense,
Yeah.
like till I die, like I am writing music that I mean, I guess other people are, sometimes they're writing about other people's experiences or writing a song for a friend or but I personally am just writing to get all these emotions out, and it happens to be very to correlate with my life. So yeah.
So thank you so much for coming and talking to me today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a great combo.
Yeah, so for all of our listeners who want to listen to your album when it comes out, and then later on in the future when you drop the next 8 songs, where can they find you?
Anywhere, LOL, it's Leah, LOLITSLEA. Been my username since social media existed. So cheers to that. And yeah, you can find me anywhere with just type in those letters.
Awesome. Hey, thank you. Like again, thank you so much for coming and talking to me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This was a great conversation. I'm excited to hear it when it's out.
Okay, I'll definitely let you know when it's out.
Sounds good.
Okay, have a nice rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Listeners, go check it out and make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at STL Lives Podcast. Thanks for joining us.